Hello, my name is Amber Nichols. I have started a business called Chronic Dreads. Um, I started this YouTube channel a while ago. Wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with it, but I did. I wanted to talk about addiction, and I still do. So I want to do that and show you guys how to make dreads. Um, I make synthetic dreads. I make woolies. I make twist and seal, crochet, and these. I made this set right here, and I do sell these sets. I can also do custom, and I am new. Like I said, it's only been over a year I've been doing this. I don't know if I had to actually say that. I'm sorry. So I do not know how to edit, so this is all going to be what you see is what you get, okay? So I used to be in active addiction for about 13 years. And you're going to hear my dog walking around on things in the background. Baby, come on, honey. Come on, up here. Let's get off the stuff, sweetie. All right, so anyway, I was in active addiction for about 13 years. And I was in it pretty hard. Like, if it was unaliving people, that's what I wanted, okay? So I was in it deep. Okay. And for a while, and let me tell you what, you only have fun with it for a couple of years, and then it's just about not being sick. There's another word for it. I just can't think of it right now, but maintaining. It pretty much just ended up being maintaining, just not being sick. But it took a lot away. It's not worth it. Let me tell you, it's not. Being dependent on something like that, and the money, holy crap, it's expensive. I was spending $180 every other day. So pretty much I was working for my habit. It's really hard, and the stuff that you go through, the people you meet, the things that you see and witness, it's just not worth it. I'm telling you, it's so much. And I do want to talk about it. But we'll start with the explanation of how I got into this and all that. And then I want to show you how to make a twist and seal at the same time. So let's do that, shall we? So as I'm making this twist and seal, we'll talk about it. Or I'll tell you my story anyway. So first off, when you make a twist and seal, we'll start with that, is you're going to want a back comb. Okay, and a lot of people use pet brushes. I just don't have one right now, or at least I can't find it. But pet brushes are one of the best things to use. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make this into pretty much, you're going to want it to look like a tail, a big fluffy tail. It's the best way I can explain it, a big fluffy tail. Okay, so this is what I do. Make it into a bit. Oops, sorry, just I gotta make it so you guys can see it. I don't have the best setup either right now, but so you're gonna wanna make a big fluffy tail, pretty much. So that's what we're gonna do, and I have already started it already. So we're just gonna back comb it, like I said. And I also like the palm roll because I think it makes it a little bit softer. So you're gonna want to put it in your palms. I know you can't see it very well, dang it. And I'm trying to. Okay, so hopefully you can see it a little bit better. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to do this all the way down. I feel like it makes it a little softer. Because we want this thread to stay together. Okay. So, and you want to keep it even. Try to keep all the bumpies out if you can. So we're just going to make this as fluffy and as solid as we can. Alright, so as I am making this, so we're going to continue with the story. So, last December, well, not this last December, excuse me, over a year ago, I decided I want to be sober. I want to do it, So I did. I took it one day at a time. I actually went on TikTok, and every day I was telling people how I felt, and that it's day 1, day 2, and it helped out a lot, believe it or not. I got a lot of support, which helped me through the process too. I do go to the methadone clinic. I am on MAT, and I don't regret it. I did not trade one for another. I know a lot of people say that that's not how it works. If you have a real issue, You do not get high off that stuff. No, okay? The only thing you can do is fall asleep. It's the only thing it's going to do to you. So, I go every 2 weeks because when you are not using, you get take homes. Okay, now if you are using, you have to go every single day. But you don't have to do that. I mean, you do have, in the beginning, you have to earn them. You know, you have to do your clean pee test to prove that you're not using, of course. But it took me about a month to get up there, about 2 weeks. So I go once every 2 weeks to go get my dosages, and so I'm not, because some people be like, oh, I don't want to do it because I have to go. Well, you don't have to go every day if you're not using. Okay, so I go every 2 weeks, and I'm on 75 milligrams because I don't want to be any higher. Eventually, I will be weaned off of it. They wean you down a milligram every week. I think it's every week, every day. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how they do it. It's been a while. I know some of it because I know people who have done it, but it's kind of scary because I've also heard that people have gotten down to like 20 milligrams and they had to go back up because they got really sick. So I'm nervous, but I want to do it. I don't want to be dependent on stuff my whole life. So, but people saying you're trading one for the other, no, it's just like taking depressant and stuff, you know. It's the same thing. We're taking our medication. As long as you're doing it the right way, no, it does not work like that. So anyway, so I decided to do that. And I was going through TikTok one day. And I've always wanted dreads, by the way. Back in the 90s, when I was a teenager, I always wanted to do it. I just never had the nuts to do it. Okay? I was also bullied relentlessly. So it was hard to do anything. Like, I'd do anything, and I got picked on. Like, I got picked on so hard, you guys. So hard, and I couldn't tell you why. I was awkward. I had a hard time talking to people, and apparently that's all it took. So anyway, that's a whole different story, but I did go through a lot in school. So anyway, the reason why I became an addict, by the way, is because I was born with rheumatoid arthritis. So my whole life I'm dealing with pain. I also have a sleep disorder, which they're calling it fatigue syndrome, severe chronic fatigue syndrome, which means I get tired doing almost nothing. I'm constantly, by the afternoon, I'm so tired and lethargic that I'm slurring my words. I almost sound like I've been drinking. It's ridiculous. I hate it. So the pain, at the time I had little ones, I was always like bedridden and feeling like crap, and finally I got introduced to morphine, and I started taking that, and I was able to clean my house. I was able to take care of my kids. I was able to do everything I wasn't able to do, and that's what I got addicted to. And then one day I got cut off, and crap, it had already gotten to the point where my body was used to having it. So without it, your body literally feels like it's going to die. It doesn't know what to do. Like, that's what's going on. But so anyway, a friend of mine introduced me to these little baggies, and I didn't know what they were. They just said that they were like that, the same thing. I'm like, okay, cool. So I started taking that, and it went from 2 every day to about 20 every day. So anyway, then I got addicted to that, and that sucked, you know. And it happened fast. It happens before you even know it happens. So anyway, the story of how this became to be is I was on TikTok, and I came across this woman, her TikTok. I can't remember her name, but she was wearing the dread extensions. Like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, what's this all about, you know? So I started doing my research, and I was like, oh my God, this is great. And of course, it was around tax time because, you know, I've always worked. So I was like, you know what? Perfect. Let's do it. I'm going to find an artist, and I'm going to get myself a set. And I did. And this is not it. Actually, the set that I got off of her name is Death Dreads, right? I think I'm saying that right. I want to make sure. Oh, yes, Death Dreads. She is awesome. Her dreads are super comfy. She's just great. And she's super nice to work with. But I ended up buying a set off of her, which is also red and black. That's my signature look. I absolutely love red and black. So anyway, let's go back to this real quick. So what you do is you're going to want to get yourself a bucket of water, and yourself a rag. This is my favorite rag that I use. So you want to get it nice and wet. Okay. And you want to take your tail and you want to twist, okay? I'm sorry, guys. It's so hard to see. Let me see here if I can get a little bit closer here. Without my phone falling over. Okay, so you're going to want to twist, okay? So you're going to twisty there. So we're going to twist. And then we're going to take our wet towel and you're going to flop it over your hair, okay? And I put my, because you're going to want a hair straightener, and I put it up to the highest setting, okay? And what you're going to want to do is you want to set it on your towel. Make sure it's steamy. Hear the sizzle? You want to hear that sizzle, okay? And you hold it on for, I don't know, how long you feel comfortable, I guess. And then you do that all the way down. Okay, so I got myself a set. It took me a while to figure out somebody to put them in, because I'll tell you what, I know how to put them in, but I cannot do it on my own head. So I had my mom do it. Now she's been doing it ever since, except for this last time I had somebody else put them in for me. Well, anyway, holy crap. I'm not going to lie to you guys. When you first wear dreads, they are heavy. Definitely, it takes a bit to get used to. It absolutely does. The sleeping part is hard at first. You got to get used to sleeping with it. But after a couple weeks, ain't nothing. They're really comfortable. I love them. Actually, mine, and I'm not saying hers are great, but I have to say mine are definitely lighter. But it's taken me a year to get this far, to figure out the technique that I'm going to do, the hair I'm going to stick with. It's taken me a whole year to get this far, but I finally figured it out for myself. I have taught myself watching YouTube videos and just doing it, you know. But I think I have figured it out. My hair is so light. I'm telling you guys, it's soft and light because I needed lighter hair, you know, because of my arthritis and stuff. My neck gets stiff, and I have a very sensitive scalp, so it's just better to. And my hair is not the strongest, so I definitely needed something lighter. And I know that they have woolies, but personally, I don't like them as much as I like the synthetic. That's just me. That's my personal opinion on them. A lot of people love them. They prefer them. It's just, I didn't personally like them for me. But like I said, I do make them too, by the way. That's a whole nother process that I will do a video on that too at some point. I will show videos of all the processes. So anyway, so I decided, you know what, I can do this, man. I can make these. You know, I started watching videos on how they were made, and it just looked, and I love creating things, okay? My biggest passion is I love making things. The problem is, because of my mental disabilities, I guess I won't call them disabilities, but I'm going to call them, I have a couple mental illnesses. Bipolar, I never say that right. Manic depression. I got anxiety, I got chronic, social severe anxiety, whatever. So I got a few things going on. PTSD, unfortunately. Just, you know, I've been through some shit. I'm sure y'all have. But that also takes, it also makes a big impact too on some of the decisions that I've made. But anyway, so I was like, you know, this looks so awesome. Like I said, I get bored quick because of the ADHD. I do have that also. But this, I have been interested this whole time. Like, I'm not bored with it. So I don't know. I just was like, you know, I can do this. It looks interesting. I really want to do it. So I did. I just said, screw it. I'm going to do it. I was tax time. Like I said, I had a little bit extra. And, you know, I made sure all my bills were paid and stuff. Don't worry about that. I made sure everything was taken care of first, like I always do. But so I went and did that. And I loved it. I loved it. Don't get me wrong, I struggled in the beginning. Oh my gosh, and to learn the crochet, oh, forget about it. That took me months, I think a good month to understand what the heck was going on. And then come to find out, I was using too big of a needle. I use a zero, when I use my needle, I use a 0.05. That's what I use. Because anything else I've tried, the 0.75 is too small. I mean, too small. That's not what I'm going to say. Smaller the better. No, that was too big. It just didn't work for me the same. And I will show you guys how to do that at some point too. So yeah, keep going down. Move your towel down when you're done with that section. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying here. I need to get a better camera. But as you can see, we are going, ouch, down the dread. You're going to want to hold it for a second. Make sure that we're good and secured. Careful not to burn your hands because of the steam. Yeah, so I decided to get into that. And then I wasn't sure at first what I was going to do. And then I was like, you know what? I could sell these. And then one day, and I also, I'm a huge Mary Jane smoker. I like it. Always have. And Dad's like, you know, because I get these pipes and stuff, and they're really nice pipes. And he's like, you know, you could sell those. You could sell your, you know, sell some pipes and some accessories. And I was like, you know, that's a good idea. Let's do that. And that's how Chronic Trends come to be, because we were sitting and I was like, you know, that's a good idea. And I was trying to put the two things together. I was coming up with all kinds of ideas, and yeah, Chronic Dreads. So I don't just make dreads. I also make handmade jewelry. I have body jewelry, very nice body jewelry, not this cheap crap that you get off the internet. I mean, this is for real. Like, okay, so there was a salon going out of business, and I got lucky. I got hooked up with all of her jewelry, all of her hair. Dude, I even got a shitload of human hair extensions. So, yeah, I got hooked up. Anyway. But I make my own earrings. I make roach clips. I'm thinking about making ones for the hair, you know, like back in the 80s. I'm thinking about doing that. I'm good. Actually, I think I am going to do that. I make all kinds. I make t-shirts. I make hats. Not the shirts itself, but you know, I put stuff on the shirts. Sorry, I'm drooling here. I also make dread tie-ins, which are ponytail things. So you don't have to do this if you don't want to put them all in your hair like this. I have clips. I have dread clips. I can give you an idea here. I'm going to reach here. So I make these. I have all kinds of different ones. So if you don't want to go for the plunge, like the actual braid-ins, you can go with the ponytail. I call these dread clips. And then I have dread tie-ins, which, here, I can actually show you. I just don't want to lose my place here. Okay, and I make them way better. This is when I was in the beginning process. I make them fuller and bigger now. But these are the tie-ins, where you just tie them in. And then I got barrette ones, too. So, I sell those too. And I can obviously show you how to make things like that too, you know, in the future. I am not a gatekeeper. I will definitely share the wisdom and the, you know, the how-tos, because that's how I learned. And there's a lot of gatekeepers. Like, they have those new ones that people are making. I can't figure that out right now. I will eventually, but you know what? I have my own technique, and I think it's better if everybody has their own technique, myself. Because, you know, if you have your own technique, then it's going to look like yours. You know what I mean? I don't want to copy other people's stuff. Anyway, so yeah, I decided to do this. I really enjoy it. It's very comforting. It's something that I've actually stuck with this whole time. It's amazing. I bought a camper, which is out in the yard, and I am turning that into a salon because I'm going to offer installations. So I'm working on that. I got myself a nice salon chair, and I got a lot of work to do. But with the storm today, I ain't doing it today. I still gotta go to work at 4. So anyway, so we're still going down the piece. It is time consuming. Very, very time consuming. Yeah, there's a lot of stories about my addiction. But like when I quit, I ended up finding out I have this autoimmune disease that attacks your sweat glands. So when I quit, I guess all the toxins and shit went in my armpit. Oh yeah, it was painful. They had to go in and drain it. And it took like a month just to drain. Like one day I woke up just covered in crap and it came out, just kept coming. Baby, stop. So, baby, stop. Baby, stop. Sorry, guys. She keeps overly licking herself. And eventually, when you listen to it for like 20 minutes, it grows. It's like, come on. It sounds like you're trying to eat yourself or something. Like, chill out, dude. Yes, I love my little pooper deal. I'll show you guys her in a second. She's my little sidekick. For sure. I think I might make her my mascot. So, I'm getting this done here. Like I said, this stuff is time consuming. It really is. So you just keep twisting. Shit, looks like this one might end up being small. I keep trying to make them fatter. See, I'm still learning, you know. I'm not perfect in any way, shape, or form. And I don't pretend to be. So. Twist, twist, twist. Put that biatch back on. And keep on going. So, yeah, I got a lot of stories. Very proud of myself, though, for getting out of it. But, yeah, so I've done this, like I said, for over a year. I'm just starting to get the word out. It's hard getting the word out, you know? It really is. You know, and then, of course, you want people to trust your product and all that, and I understand that. But I try. I do. It's hard. I get in my own way sometimes because I'm a very shy person. Like I said, my anxiety can get to me sometimes. Like, I could see me getting all these clients and then me turning into a turtle and hiding in my shell. And then, like I said, getting in my own way because I get so shy and anxious, you know? It's ridiculous. But I can't help it. Anxiety is hard to deal with. It really is. It can be debilitating sometimes. Like it's even hard to make a phone call sometimes. Oh, the other thing you gotta watch out for is, I guess I can be all over the place with what I'm talking about. So if I do that, I apologize. I do catch myself sometimes, but not every time. Baby, enough. Baby, honey, come on now. I can lick your own skin off, for goodness sake. Chill out. I guess maybe she just tastes real good. I don't know. Calm down, honey, okay? So, yeah. Been through a lot when it comes to the addiction thing. There's a lot of information that actually a lot of people don't know. A lot of things that, yeah, there's just a lot, you know? I got a lot of infections. That new stuff, xylazine, that's out. Oh my God, guys. It's not even... See, that's the thing. You can't get the H anymore. It hasn't been around for like 8 years. At least not up in Vermont areas. It's all xylazine, fentanyl, all that crap. So bad. Like, I had 8 infections. 8 infections. And I know, and it's not from missing. They're just bad stuff. You know, I could have died. And then half the time you don't want to go to the hospital because we're treated bad. Seriously, they treat you bad. And that's why half the time you see all these addicts walking around with rotted appendages and craters and all this other crap, walking around with all this crap in their face and stuff, because they know they're just going to be treated like crap. Half of us just... And even as a recovering addict, okay? Even as a recovering addict, I'm sometimes treated like crap. And you know what's wild? We're not at the doctor's drug seeking. You know why? Because when you get to the point of doing H and Fetty and all that other bullshit, pills do nothing anymore. Nothing. Okay? I can take a handful of pills like Dilaudid and all that other shit, and it will not do a damn thing, because they're not that strong, not compared to what we are putting in our bodies every day, or we're putting in our bodies every day. That shit ain't nothing. Excuse my language. Okay? So no, we're not doing that. And you know what's wild too is the doctors should know this. They should know this. Like, come on, man. No, we're not there for that. We're there because we need help just like everybody else. We're not there because we want to be treated like crap. We're there because we need the help. And it took everything in our power to even come. We don't even want to be here because we know that you're going to treat us like crap. So it's just crappy all around. Sorry, as you can tell, I'm very, I feel very strongly about that, because I can't... Oh, here you go. Here's a story. My man is 1 foot. He didn't have 1 foot. He had 2 about 2 years ago. A year ago. I don't remember now. Whatever. Time flies. The older you get. We went to a hospital. And yeah, he's a difficult patient. He was in a lot of pain. We let it go for... I knew his foot was infected, but he didn't listen to me. It was red. It was double the size. It was just bad. Okay. So we go to the hospital, and we get this nurse, and she's treating him like crap. Pretty much calling him a wussy. Oh, the girl across the hall has a broken hip and ain't acting like you. For one, you ain't supposed to be telling us what's going on in the room next door. That's not okay. For two, have some respect. He's in pain. So we do a CT scan. Never heard the outcome of the CT scan. The doctor came in for 30 seconds, didn't come back in ever again after that. There was no respect. No, nothing. I can't think of all the words. Unfortunately, because of the fact that I put substances in my body, I messed my head up. I messed my brain up. So now that I'm sober, I tend to stutter a lot, and I blank out, and it's embarrassing, and I can't help it, and it just sucks. So I just want to point that out, that I do stutter, and I do kind of brain fart a lot. I guess it's from that. Anyway, what was I talking about? Shit. Shouldn't have gone off track. Okay, so they were treating him like crap. They didn't really tell us much. Well, anyway, we left, of course, and they put him on antibiotics. Well, we thought the antibiotics were working like an idiot, because like all of a sudden the top of his foot went, like there was like this pool of white and stuff. I don't know, it started to look weird. And then his mom's a nurse, and she's like, we need to go back. So we went back to Keene, and they did another CT scan. Guess what? His foot was so full of pus from his toes to his ankle that it was literally separating his capillaries and stuff. Yeah. But they didn't see that at the other hospital. Yeah, no. Oh, and the antibiotics they gave him made it worse. Yeah, he had MRSA. He had MRSA. Almost took him. He did try to save his foot, but it did not work, unfortunately, so he did lose it. And because of all that, we had to uproot our apartment and move in with his mom. It's also a long story. I have a lot of stories, you guys. So, and, it's a lot. That's just some of the stuff, like I said. But I'm only supposed to, sorry, I went a little off track. I'm just supposed to be talking about making these and how I became sober and started my business. I told you, I warned you, I go a little off track. So anyway, we got this side done. So we're going to move on to the other side. And get you one of these. Well, actually, yeah, get you one of these if you can't afford the bigger ones. They're affordable. This one actually came with a sawhorse is what they're called. So it can attach the sawhorse and I can actually bring it with me, and then it's pretty cool. And it was like 25 bucks. So if you can't afford the dread looms, actually my boyfriend just made me one for my birthday. Apparently it's not that hard, by the way, because they are expensive. Or we might try to sell them, but we wouldn't sell them for like $300. Like, oh shit. Anyway, so we are debating on making dread looms and selling them on my page. That'd be pretty cool, because they are hard to find. So we might just start doing that. So let me know, by the way, in the comments if that's a good idea or not. Oh, and click, what is it? Like and subscribe. Like I said, I don't know how to edit, so I can't like do all that funky stuff. Like I said, so what you see is what you get for now until I can figure that stuff out. So anyway, so we're going to switch to the other side. So we're going to do what we did on this side to this side. So, get your clamp. Hook it right up. Gonna hear some noise. Make your tail. Get your comb. Get your hair. Back comb that crap. Back comb it. Back comb, 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 comb. And we're just gonna keep doing that until we get our little tail. Our fluffy ass tail. Yep. So last year was the first year that I did like festivals, and I do the New Fame flea market every weekend. That was my first year, yeah, and it was great. I met some cool people. I really have fun doing it. I'm hoping that I can get my salon going and do this full time. I really would like to do this full time. That's my goal. So definitely got to come to Vermont and see me. Maybe buy a set and get them put in. Yeah, why not? Pretty fun to talk to. Or you don't have to talk to me at all. Just chill, you know? Because I just want you to have a very nice experience. Of course, get your thing nice and soaked and wet. The bitch back on. Grab your thing and sizzle, sizzle. Sizzle, sizzle. If anybody has any questions too, don't hesitate to ask, because I will answer them. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of stories. Yeah, I have lots to tell. Let me tell you, I've been through a lot, but I'm sure a lot of people have. You know, definitely I'm not the only one going through shit. And, you know, it's hard these days for everybody. Like, it just is. Just crazy times out there. But we're not going to get into that stuff because it's not what this channel is going to be about. But definitely a lot going on out there. So yeah, if you want to start doing dreads, I would do it. You know, go for it, man. It's comforting. It's not. I'm not going to say it's easy because it's not. You know, it takes a lot to learn. I mean, once you start learning it and you get the hang of it, yeah, okay, it can be easy. But until then, no. Like I said, it's been a year, and it's taken me the whole year to get where I'm at now. To figure out what hair works best for me, what techniques work best for me, and what, you know, what's light, what's not. Because you want to make sure that your stuff is going to last and good quality. You know, I want to make sure my stuff is good quality. It means a lot to me. I'm not just about making money. I want to make the person happy too. I think we got enough people trying to make money out there today. I don't need to be doing that. It's not what this is about for me. For me, this is about giving people confidence. Because you know what? It gave me confidence. It really did. I've never had a lot of it. So, and these help. You know, I'm actually quite addicted to having them in. When they're out, I feel bald. I don't feel like me. You know, I love having them in. And like I said, I'm very, very, very attached. So if you're thinking of taking the plunge, do it. Seriously, do it. It's worth it. And if you're worried about what people think, don't. Seriously, please don't. Because it's 2026. We really should be over that crap by now. Like, come on. We should be able to look at how we want to look. At least that's how I feel about it. It's just wild to me, that's all. I always believe in self-expression and, you know, being yourself. You got to. You don't want to be like everybody else. How fun is that? I don't think that's fun. God, I don't know. I always taught my kids to be independent, or not, and excuse me, well, yeah, that too, but to be individuals, you know? Don't be like everybody else. Because then life gets boring that way, you know? I mean, to an extent, of course. Yeah. So we're getting there here. Like I said, it's very time consuming. It is. This is more time consuming, I think, than doing the crochet or the curls that I make. I definitely think this takes the longest, for sure. So, what do you guys think of the storm, huh? Can't believe it's still snowing. We definitely got a foot. Holy crap, guys. It's ridiculous here. But, oh, and you know the other thing that's crazy that I saw? I was watching some videos where people that don't live in Vermont are, like, going nuts and, like, cleaning out stores and stuff. That's crazy. What the heck, you guys? It's only a couple days. Not like you're stuck in your house forever. Like, holy poop. And how much bread and toilet paper and eggs do you need? Like, come on now. Holy poop. Like, I know around here we're good. But we're also used to it. Because like I said, it's only a couple days. Like, calm down, it's okay. We'll be back on the roads and stuff tomorrow. Of course, I have to go to work later, so it doesn't really stop me from having to do my daily thing. It's not like school where, oh, we're going to close down here, right? No, they don't do that. You got to work. Sometimes, though, it would be nice, wouldn't it? Get paid for that day. Looks like I got a little fat spot. So, apparently with these ones, I'm having a hard time keeping them even, though. Like I said, I'm not perfect in any way. I'm not an expert. You know, like I said, I've only been doing this for about a year and a half. So, and I'm going to be honest about it. I'm not going to make you think I've been this huge expert that's been doing it for 10 years. I'm not going to do that. as I would like to be successful and want my business to grow, I'm going to stay honest and straightforward. You know, I want to make good relationships with my clients. It's important to me. You know, it means because it's going to be the clients that help me grow. You know, or guests, or yeah, you know. So it's important to me to have these business relationships. You know, I want people to feel comfortable when they come. I want them to feel safe, comfy. Because if you're getting your hair done or your installation done, I mean, that's a good, up to 6 hours you're spending with me. So I take that into consideration. Same with work, you don't want to go in a place where you're uncomfortable for 8 hours. There's no fun in that. It makes the work a lot harder. Gotta be comfortable. To an extent, once again, I mean, we don't want to be taking advantage either, but we're almost done. Almost done. Oh, the ends. Yeah, let's, so when you get to the end, I slide it, okay? So you're gonna twist and slide, because we want to keep it nice and smooth, I guess. I don't know. Not the best at explaining stuff either, dears. Always think of me as like the book for dummies, or dreads for dummies. I don't know. Not saying you guys are dumb, by the way. I'm just giving you an example of how simple I explain my stuff. So the only issue I'm having is this area right here. See what I mean? Dang it. You know what? The one thing about my dreads, and I'm not afraid to admit this, is they're not gonna be perfect. They're not. But you know what? Dreads aren't supposed to be. So I'm not perfect. You're not gonna get symmetrical. They're not perfect. They're gonna be. It's hard to explain. Meaning, some will be. They're not. Some might not be the same length. They'll be able to vary, very close, obviously, because otherwise that'd look kind of funny. But they're not perfect. They're just not. Everybody is not. There's nobody perfect out there. And I don't know. The quality is going to be fantastic. They're not going to fall apart. Nothing like that. I mean, there might be a bump in it. They might not be perfectly smooth or perfectly, like I said, symmetrical, or, you know what I mean? But that's kind of how I want it. Seriously. I don't believe in perfection. I believe we come close, but... Or what's perfection in our eyes, how we feel about it. Because to me, it is perfection. I'm going quiet on you guys, I'm sorry. I get sucked into this stuff. Alright, let's see if I got rid of that bump a little bit more. Alright, so you take your little thingy off, undo it. Or not really undo it, but you know what I mean. Alright, so we got that done. We undo it. And there is a twist and seal. Now, of course, you can make them fatter, skinnier, whatever. Now, I put black and purple together. Did I say black and purple? I meant to say purple and blue. That's supposed to be purple and blue. It just looks a lot darker on the thing. Because I'm making a set for someone, and I'll show it to you guys. Here. No, that is not it. Excuse me. Where are we here? Here we go. This is her set. And I made all of them myself. But that's her set for a client. They are very soft, have lots of body. Every curl I make myself. And I can definitely show you how to do that. But yeah, these, I made every stinking one of these. Except for the purple. I was thinking, oh, poop. Alright. So it looks like I'm going to have to work on the purple a little bit more because it didn't hold the... That's okay. So as you can see, I still have to curl these ones up. So I'm going to have to... That's okay. We're going to do this a different way because I don't think the water worked on these ones. So I'll take these. And I'm going to have to do that a different way, which is okay. It's not a big deal. Probably have to do it the steamer way, because you can do it a bunch of different ways. Some people, I guess, do it with, what does she say? She takes the strands and I guess she braids them. So people do it a lot of different ways. But anyway, this is her set. And I have to take the purples out because I have to... I'm going to work on that after. I got to finish the curls on the purple, but that is her set. And like I said, the purples will be going, and I did take them out, but that's because I have to recurl them. I just feel like that's not enough. Unless that's what you want. If you want these kind of curls, you can have them, of course. But I think that it would be better if I, a little bit more. Anyway. Working on some, just showing you guys a little bit of my work. So to give you an idea, like I said before, I make them, look kind of like you have braids and curlies. Unless you want the braids a little bit shorter and you don't want them to show. But this is what they'll look like when they are all finished. As you can see, they're not all finished yet. I'm still in the process of working on them, but there you go. These are my homemade curls. So that's what I make when I make the curlies. And like I said, I gotta finish them. I also have some pink ones that I started. And these are all for sale, by the way. I just make a bunch so that, because the way I'd like to do it is I would like to make it so it's like a Build-A-Bear. You come in, you pick out what you want, and you put your set together. Yeah. And then you can add beads and stuff, and then I can install it. And that's how I plan on doing my business anyway. And if you guys want to, critique my idea or anything, just leave me comments. It's okay. So these are the starting of my, which I do need to make these smaller. But for now, this is how they come out. This is how they look when you put them in. And like I said, I can always make the braids smaller. It's not a big deal. All right, everybody. I think this is a long enough video. And like I said before, like and subscribe. And I will start putting more videos on here. And once again, I am Amber, the owner of Chronic Dreads, and I'm also got a page on Facebook, a group page and a page, and I have a TikTok, Chronic Dreads. And if you ever want to order anything, I don't have a web page yet. I'm still learning how to do all that. So as of right now, you just go on my page, look at my stuff, or just PM me, and we'll go from there. All right. Everybody have a lovely day and stay safe out there in that storm. Okay. Mwah.